Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, so have you ever had one of those days, or let's be real, maybe even weeks, where you're just working incredibly hard, you feel totally exhausted, yet you also feel entirely scattered? It's like you're putting in all this massive effort, but you're not actually moving the needle on your personal productivity? Sound familiar? Yeah, if that resonates, trust me, you are absolutely not alone. Today, we're going to completely rethink what it actually means to be productive by uncovering the 4 real currencies of your life. Let's get right into it.
Think about this for a second. Do you budget your money, but absolutely ignore your focus? We're initiating a total paradigm shift today, guys. You see, most of us have been taught to be these hyper-vigilant accountants with our wallets. We track every single penny that goes in and out, right? Yet when it comes to the very things that actually generate that money in the first place, our focus, our drive, our hours, we just kind of wing it and hope for the best. Okay, let's dive into this bizarre dissonance we all seem to live with. On the one hand, we've got these heavily guarded bank accounts, right? Complex passwords, two-factor authentication, the whole shebang. And you probably check those balances religiously. But on the other hand, we leave our calendars totally unguarded. Literally anyone can just walk in and take an hour of our day, or some random app can steal 30 minutes of our morning. It's actually kind of crazy when you think about it. We obsess over protecting our finances while leaving our most precious, irreplaceable resources completely wide open to the public.
So what's the core problem here? Well, it's our absolute obsession with the M, money. The average person is completely fixated on this one single metric. We budget it, we track it, we worry about it at 2 a.m., but focusing solely on money, it's literally like trying to drive a car by only staring at the speedometer while completely ignoring the steering wheel and the gas pedal. By fixating just on the outcome or totally missing the other vital elements required to actually build a meaningful, prosperous life.
And that brings us to the solution, the team framework. Some folks also call it MEAT, but essentially this framework breaks down the 4 distinct human currencies: time, energy, attention, and money. Now, I want you to start viewing all 4 of these as actual currencies. You possess them right now, whether you realize it or not. And just like the dollars in your bank account, they've got to be managed intentionally. These 4 elements, they are the true raw materials of personal productivity. They're the actual building blocks of wealth creation. Now, this concept isn't actually new. The broader framing of time, money, and energy as these 3 pillar resources is actually a core principle you'll find in ancient Eastern philosophies like Hinduism and Buddhism. Look at how they break it down. Time is strictly finite, right? You spend it, it's gone forever. Money, on the other hand, is infinite. There's always more out there to be earned, but it's notoriously misused. And energy, well, that is the pure fuel for action. These ancient traditions argue that when these 3 are out of whack, you lose all your clarity and effectiveness. But as we shift into our modern digital era, thinkers in the personal productivity space have added a vital 4th resource to those ancient pillars: attention. In our hyper-connected, always-on world, attention is absolutely everything. A lot of times it gets lumped in as just a part of time or energy, but man, it deserves its own spotlight. Why? Because where your attention goes, your energy flows. Your attention acts like a laser pointer, right? It directs the heavy machinery of your energy, and that is what ultimately determines your outcomes in life. And this brilliantly illustrates what productivity thinker Paul Jollycore is talking about. He challenges us to adopt a totally new mindset, using a few absolutely critical questions. He strongly advocates that we manage our resources, especially our time, with the exact same level of care we give to our cash. So I want to challenge you right now. Apply these questions to your own afternoon today. When you sit down to start your next task, ask yourself, is it worth it? Is there something better to do? Am I consuming or am I producing? I mean, wow, that last one is a massive reality check, isn't it? So what actually drives the money? Well, that's where the T part of our acronym comes in: time, energy, and attention. If money is the ultimate outcome, then T is the engine that gets you there. These 3 are your real productivity engine and the core drivers of wealth creation. Look, we all know that not everyone is born wealthy. That's just a fact. But the great equalizer? It's that your best shot at creating sustainable wealth lies entirely in how you manage your T. This is the machinery you actually control. And this builds into a really practical, step-by-step sequence for wealth creation. Step 1. You take your time, energy, and attention and you channel them intentionally. No more reacting, just directing. Step 2. Because you are super focused, you successfully produce value. Step 3. Producing that high-level value inevitably begins to open doors and create new opportunities. And finally, Step 4. Those open doors, they generate income. Managing your TEA successfully is literally what systematically produces financial gain.
But I do have to give you a pretty stark warning here. If you neglect your TEA, you are going to spend your entire life chasing money without ever catching up. It's an incredibly urgent realization. You simply cannot catch the money if your core wealth creation engine is totally broken. I mean, if you're constantly leaking energy, scattering your attention, and wasting your time, you're basically trying to win a race with flat tires. No matter how hard you pedal, the money is always going to outrun you.
So let's do a little bit of introspection. Where does most of your energy actually go? Think about yesterday, or hey, even just think about this morning. Is the fuel you're burning building you up, or is it actively wearing you down? We are so good at tracking our caloric energy, making sure we eat right, hitting our macros, but we completely ignore our mental and productive energy. If you're directing your daily fuel toward things that just drain you, your engine is going to stall out, for sure.
Now, what exactly are these things wearing us down? Well, it's the modern traps, right? Gossip blogs, trending gists, endless social media doom scrolling, unfruitful engagements. Get this, the average person spends yearly 2.5 hours a day just scrolling. That's enough time to learn a new language. It is absolutely shocking how many people wake up, roll over in bed, and immediately surrender their absolute best peak morning focus to these completely unnecessary things. They start their day by giving their premium fuel to some random trending topic that adds zero actual value to their life. And here is the hard-hitting realization about all those little distractions. Just because it didn't drain your bank account doesn't mean it didn't rob you. People are almost always totally unconscious of this hidden cost. Scrolling through that gossip blog didn't cost you a single dollar. Sure, but it cost you an equally vital currency. It took your time, it took your energy, it took your attention. You paid for that distraction, my friend. You just paid for it with the raw materials of your future wealth. So the crucial point here is shifting from passive consumption to active intentional planning. You need to ask yourself, what do I give my time to? Is it aligned with my goals, or am I just reacting to life? Most people live in a state of constant reaction. They just wait around for an email, a push notification, or a phone call to tell them what to do next. To truly master this team framework, you have got to transition from playing defense to playing offense with your time. Which brings us to our ultimate call to action. I want you to start treating your energy, your attention, and your time with the exact same seriousness you give to your hard-earned finances. Think of it in 3 steps. Step 1, audit them. Figure out exactly where they are leaking right now. Step 2, budget them. Decide in advance exactly how you want to spend them tomorrow. And step 3, protect them. Guard your calendar and your focus just like you'd guard your bank account passwords. Ultimately, team, time, energy, attention, and money, it really isn't just a clever acronym. Managing all 4 of these currencies holistically is literally the only sustainable path forward. It is the absolute rock-solid foundation of a productive, purposeful, and prosperous life. You simply cannot achieve the M without first mastering the T, the E, and the A. It's a package deal. I highly encourage you to do a quick audit of your life right after this explainer ends. Seriously, take a hard look at your calendar, check your phone's screen time stats, and ask yourself one final, very important question. What are you spending your energy on today?